to the Deep Threats Podcast. We are live and in action, and it is week 16 of the NFL. I am happy to have you all here. I had another wonderful week of pick'ems. Too bad my money has been weak during this holiday season, so I haven't bet on them like I should. That being said, as always, you have me, your host of the show, KJAM, and my wonderful co-host, Wheels.
Hello. I feel like everybody's money's kind of been tight. I was talking to my sister-in-law yesterday. She's like, damn, this Christmas season's been rough.
It's hurting my betting. It's hurting my betting. Actually, so like, I'm not trying to be like bougie, but normally my Christmas per person is like I try to target around 100, and this year it's ended up being about 150 because of like cost of everything.
What'd you get me?
Yeah, I wish.
This guy.
He's gonna get shafted this year because family comes first.
I'm not family.
No, you're the autistic cousin that we forgot about.
Uncle Wheels, baby.
Daddy Wheels.
Big brain Wheels.
All right, but as we're going to get into it today, as always, you have the wonderful lineup for the Christmas week. And when I say wonderful, primetime sucks outside of Christmas Day. Today you have the awesome, spectacular two teams going against each other in the New Orleans Saints and the LA Rams. Both teams are fighting for playoffs.
I know. So I hate.
It matters.
I know this term is redundant this late. Week 16. Every game's a playoff game. But
It's all playoffs.
it is. But for these teams, the Saints could possibly grab the division or be tied with the division. So, I mean, the Saints are on the cusp of winning the division, which is, I think they're what, 7-7.
Cusp. Yeah, it says it right there, bro. It says 7-7.
I'm Brian trying to bring up all the NFL standings.
I have it right here. That's why I figured you were looking for. Playoff picture.
This guy provides me with a laptop. That's my gift.
Yeah, I provided with my laptop. You gotta love it. In the NFC, they're
tied with they're tied
the
with the
7th
Buccaneers.
seed. They're the 7th seed in the NFC.
So I mean, Baker Mayfield 7-7 with the Bucks. Derek Carr 7-7 with the Saints. Obviously, both teams have been dealing with some sort of injuries. I would say the Saints more than the Buccaneers, though, as of late. With Chris Olave, he missed last week. Michael Thomas, his mid-levelness will not be on the team next year, I feel. Rashid Shaheed, another guy who kind of stepped up, hasn't done much the last couple of weeks. Obviously, he's not a wide receiver one for that team without Chris Olave, but there's a reason why he's not. And it's just the talent pool of him. He doesn't have the separation skill that Chris Olave does, and I don't think that Chris Olave has he has a better separation. He separates better, but I don't want to say he does not separate like some of the other wide receivers that were drafted last year and this year. But Chris Olave also has had a couple different quarterbacks over his last 2 years under the Saints with Andy Dalton, Jameson Winston, and Derek Carr. So I think we have some more to see from Chris Olave. I would rather see the Saints win this game just because I want to see Chris Olave. I want to see Derek Carr back in the playoffs because I have more invested in that team than I do the Rams. And it's nothing against the Rams. Obviously, from being what they were last year, they've lost a lot of talent. They won the Super Bowl a couple years back. They sold a lot of draft stock, a lot of draft picks to get that Super Bowl. And this year will be their first draft pick in what, KJ, 4 years? Their first round draft pick for the Rams in what, 4 years, right?
Yeah. If we're talking about the Matt Stafford trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
So I mean, honestly, with the Rams and how they're playing, at this point I would figure they would have been worse off than 7-7, a 500 team in that division. Obviously, the NFC is a little bit weaker when it comes to divisions versus the AFC. But like I said, I'd rather see the Saints in there. Matthew Stafford, I think he's got about a year or two left. Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, both two guys that came out of that draft who have just surprised everybody, including me. Puka, I didn't even have on my draft board personally. I know Steve did have him, but we did not discuss him on show. And Kyron Williams, I don't believe I had him on my draft board either, so those are two big misses by me. which obviously I'll have to get better.
That was 2 years ago.
Was it? Okay. I'm sorry.
This is Kyron's second year.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yes, you're correct. Kyron, second year. So that was a big mistake.
I just had to check you for a second. I was just like, I'm listening to you. I'm like, all right, everything you're saying. Wait, of course you're not gonna have Kyron on your board this year because he was a second year player.
I don't know. I have to go back 2 years and look at my board on my laptop if I can find it.
I mean, it's not that we don't have these guys on.
Puka no, I'm gonna be honest. The kid out of BYU, he came out of BYU. I don't think a lot of people saw him, and if they did say he was gonna be this good, they're lying to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's the same with
Brock
Purdy. Brock Purdy, another guy 2 years ago, was not on my draft board. Didn't even really look at him. Came out of Iowa State, Big 12, and he's about to win the MVP.
Who?
Brock.
Oh, they said Puka.
No, I was talking about Puka. I said both those guys are both were, I believe, 7th round picks.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Brock was.
But yeah, but I'm saying Puka was a 7th round pick as well by the Rams. Out of BYU is what I was saying.
Okay, yeah, he was. You're right.
I was saying how both those guys, nobody saw it coming, and if they said, "Oh yeah, I knew they were going to be this good," they're lying to you. I don't even think Mel Kiper had any of these guys on his draft board as talented as they have been this year.
Mel Kiper will say that Brock Purdy was on his watching list. Like
top 250.
Mel just drives me insane. Mel thinks that we're not recording everything. Like, we know what you said back when you said it, man.
I got the receipts. Like Tua Tagovailoa say.
It's just agitating.
So let's go into some
These
news.
guys don't seem to understand that they're being recorded.
No, let's go into some news real quick. Arthur Blank, he's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, came out and said in a press conference for the team, he said, "I am not sure about the future of Arthur Smith," is what he summed up to say. He said, "I'll have to take a look into it this offseason," which in my eyes, under my assumptions, means, Arthur Smith, you've done great, but we need to do better. But at the same time, I don't want to hold Arthur Smith as a sole, fault for this team. You got to look at Desmond Ridder. I think he's had 18 total turnovers. He has not been good. His passer rating is god-awful. You have talent on that team, so there's no issues. You have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and you have Tyler Algier. So it's not like you don't have talent on the receiving side and the defensive side as well. The defense is done, I think, is about middle of the field. The offense could obviously be better, but I think Arthur Smith turned to Taylor Heineke a little too late. You didn't have much invested in Desmond Ridder. I think he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. I know that's a little high for some people, but you can find better talent in this year's draft without a doubt. I don't think they should move off Arthur Smith as much as I've scrutinized him for not running Bijan Robinson. I would give him at least one more year because most of the time it's not the head coach that is the sole heir of the problems. It starts from the front office and the ownership and works its way down. As we say, crap rolls downhill, does it not, KJ?
100%. I completely agree with you.
Who's the face of the franchise usually on the coaching end? It's the head coach. It's not the GM. It's not the owner. It's not the assistants. The head coach has to answer all the hard questions. He's got to deal with all the media. He has to answer, what would you have done differently here if it didn't work out there? I mean, it happened with the Bijan Robinson where he sat out for the migraine and then they were then scrutinized by the NFL for not reporting it, and he played one snap for them. I don't think Arthur Smith's the problem. It's just there's a lot of teams that are just dysfunctional in the NFL, and we'll turn to another one here real quick, and that is the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is now going to be activated off the IR, but he's not going to play this year, they said. Robert Saleh said he is not going to play, but he's taking up a roster spot. So
there's a reason for that, though. So you have to keep in mind that you have to kind of have him on the roster because you have to pay him at this point. But you also have to understand that if a quarterback goes down, you don't want to roster another quarterback. You just let Aaron Rodgers step in.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play.
No. I'm saying if Zach Wilson goes down, Aaron Rodgers will come in. Your goal is to not do that. Hey, welcome back, Aaron. Your goal,
Aaron, you're gonna hate me here in a
your
second.
goal is
I'm
to not
sorry,
do
buddy.
that. But
I'm really sorry.
I don't like that you switch spots. Switch it back. Switch it back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Hey,
Aaron's
that
about to
shows
hate
how
me.
long you've been out of this mix. We've been like this for a little over 2 weeks now, and it's kind of a struggle for me. But hey, it helps me because I have all of this stuff. You can't see it, but it's all like in this area, so it makes my life easier, and I'm not like running over the bar every time I need to adjust something or do something, which was the most absurd thing ever. So
No, it's just all set. But I know what you're saying about the Aaron Rodgers thing, but I just want to say the whole sideshow for the Aaron Rodgers Achilles injury pretty much sums up the Jets as a franchise. They are the pick-me girl of the NFL.
Hold on. Now go ahead.
Always needing the spotlight, whether it's for a good reason, bad reason, or a publicity stunt like they're doing with the Aaron Rodgers situation. The whole year has been about Aaron and Aaron only. They used Zach Wilson as a scapegoat, and when that didn't work, they turned back to, Aaron Rodgers will be back here in a couple of weeks. Now, you go back, and Aaron Rodgers will not play, and the team and the coaches and the front office seem to have not bought into the season at all, and they're waiting for next year. I'm just going to say this. Aaron Rodgers is not going to save that franchise. They need to draft better. The last 2 drafts have been god-awful on the front end of the offense.
You're starting to piss me off, you little piglet son of a bitch.
The offensive line,
That was for you, Aaron.
the quarterbacks. Skill position, they're good at drafting. But other than that, offensive line and quarterbacks, there's a lot left to be desired. I know, Aaron, you wanted an offensive lineman in that draft. They did not do that, and that's exactly what they're missing. Let's say they draft an offensive lineman. Let's say, what happens? They draft an offensive lineman. Maybe Aaron doesn't go down.
You want to hear something good for Aaron? Both Aarons, this Aaron and that Aaron Rodgers. So the New York Jets are picking at this point at the 7th spot. There is an offensive tackle that might slide to them at that 7th spot.
Are you talking about
He's Hawaiian, so he's not on
a Samoan?
He's not on Mendenhall's team. I'll just tell you that right now. He's not on Rashard Mendenhall's team. You don't get Samoans and you don't get halves. No halfsies.
You get the halves, we'll take the Samoan.
Ooh.
We get Tua.
I'll take Samoans. I get a safety then. Yeah. I at least get a safety. That's it. Oh, that's the deal. That's the deal.
And you know what? So
I've been fighting about this all week. I'm the token white kid in a group chat. So I've been fighting about this all week.
Just to go into that, Mendenhall looks like a clown. You know how many people have come together to say, this and that, this and that, this and that. Mendenhall.
Oh, he's race baiting.
Dude, you were a mid guy.
I like how he says did you see he said I'm a great?
He's not great.
He was not. He had like 2 good years.
He's mid. He was mid his entire career.
I have not pulled up his stats to compare them to Christian McCaffrey, but just saying.
I think Christian McCaffrey eclipsed him in like his 30s.
His rookie year.
Probably.
He's had more stats on him in his rookie year. I'm just saying. Aaron, man, you missed the last show. I had like 2 dad jokes that were perfect, and you just weren't here. And these were ones I made up on my own. So, but yeah, Mendenhall's looking like an idiot, and that's obviously in the news. If you're on Twitter right now, they're actually people putting up images of the black team defensively against the white team, and it's freaking hilarious.
Hey,
but
we got a punter.
I will tell you,
they don't got a punter.
They don't have a kicker in general.
Oh, they might have Desmond King.
They're not kicking field goals. They're not kicking field goals. But, and I'm saying they're as in Mendenhall's team.
So, under his whole career, he had 1,100 attempts.
I'm not willing.
4,200 yards, 37 touchdowns, rushing wise. Receiving, let's go to that.
Hold on. This one's for Aaron. I actually have them saved because I wrote them down.
95 receptions, 795 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. You were mid.
Hey, Aaron, did you hear what happened to Andy Reid?
And you were a first-round pick.
Aaron, did you hear what happened to Andy Reid when he got fined? He got fined for talking smack on refs, but they got him fined for eating on the sideline. And that was because they have a no snack policy. That was for you, Aaron. That was for you.
Wasn't the joke also that he got fined in cheeseburgers? Not
That was the second part of the joke, was that the $100,000 fine was in cheeseburgers.
which would be more.
But the
would
no
be-
snack policy is funnier, though.
It would be more than $1,000
That-
because there's not a cheeseburger you can find for $1
I
anymore.
opened the show with that, Aaron, hoping you'd be here, and you were not here. We miss you.
Yeah, Aaron, where you been at?
He said he's been on the short bus, is what he told us. So, now, is there anything else that we can get into in news that you...
CJ Stroud, as I've said all season, rookie players have missed consistently 2 weeks with concussions, and he is going, from what I've seen and the reports I have read, that he was going to miss a second week.
I'm going to
with a
be honest.
concussion.
And I know a lot of people, I was talking to Ryan about this. He's like, nah, if he's good, he should play. I'm like, I don't know if I want to start him against the Browns.
No,
I don't know if I
so
want to start him against the Browns.
This is what I told my buddies. It goes back to the Tua situation. The NFL got scrutinized
And
for that
thank
whole...
you for being here, Aaron. We appreciate it.
The NFL got scrutinized for that whole Tua situation, and they have not changed, which I'm happy with. Their player safety is...
TJ Watt went out and played.
It's because TJ Watt is TJ Watt.
I'm just saying. I think
TJ Watt was...
I told you straight up that Tomlin needs to be investigated for the injuries that have happened on his team, and now I think he needs to be investigated for Bountygate 2.0. And I don't think that the Kazi or KZ hit was...
That was a bad hit, but it wasn't as bad as the
I don't
other
think
hits.
it was egregious, right? Like, I think he did launch,
I do think...
and I think he did lead with his helmet, but I don't think his intention was to blow him up. He was going for the ball.
Let me ask Aaron, did you see the KZ hit, Aaron? And did you see the Fitzpatrick hit on Chubb? Because I think the Chubb...
I think they're about equivalent. Both led with their helmet. They both dove low, and they launched. Both of them.
And...
But Minka didn't get ejected.
No, but so...
Minka didn't get ejected, though. That's the problem.
I know, but this is what I'm going to say. If you're going to get rid of the hip tackle, then you need to get rid of...
Leading with the helmet. Which they have.
And going for legs at running backs. Anybody.
I disagree. You can't
launch
first things first, you're not getting rid of the hip tackle. It's the hardest.
I know, but you can't launch yourself at somebody's legs. That's just dirt.
I don't disagree.
I understand wrapping somebody up by the ankle, by the leg. I get that, but you can't launch yourself at somebody's legs.
Aaron, I completely agree with you in this situation. I think they were equivalent. Now, my only issue here, right, is because everybody's trying to get rid of this. And if you get rid of the hip tackle,
They
okay,
shouldn't.
there's one thing. If you get rid of leading with your helmet, you know what? It's part of the body. Guys go out there. Gronkowski wore 2 elbow braces. How many people got an elbow brace to the face with Gronkowski?
I remember when he body slammed the Bills player.
I mean, so it's part of the gear. Now, I think if you want to minimize the gear, guys won't lead with their helmet.
No,
The problem is you put so much technology into the helmet, it is a freaking weapon. So unless you start pulling helmets off, guys,
No, I think you go back.
leather helmets, man.
I think you go back to bigger pads.
Go back to leather helmets.
Go back to heavier. People not moving as fast.
Leather helmets.
But the NFL won't do that because they love the speed.
Actually, the pads are based on the player's dictation. So the player gets to dictate what type of pads they wear.
I mean, go look at
That's why-
go look at Urlacher. That dude wore massive pads.
The
back
neck
in the
roll?
day. Yeah.
So did Luke Kuechly. He wore the neck roll too. Yeah, I mean, you could still wear the neck roll.
Yeah, but back in the day, the pads were like this freaking high, man. They were like towers on people. Like you were like this, just sitting in your pads. Like Urlacher looked like this with his neck roll. He's like he had no freaking neck at all.
I'm just letting you know I screenshotted that.
That's fine.
Okay, just making
I
sure.
saw.
I got to see it twice.
Oops, wrong channel.
Anyone else rock hard right now? Oh, Aaron, man. All right, so getting into our pick'ems for this last week, how are we looking?
I was 8-8. You were 11-5.
11-5,
Rough
baby.
week for Wheels.
And I'm 11-5, and one of those games I picked Arizona to beat the 49ers. So
retard alert.
So I did that one on purpose.
He was giving me a gimme.
Yeah. Oh, you don't believe I read that out loud? Why wouldn't I? I'm not monetized.
We only got 79 subscribers, man.
I got a long ways to go before I'm monetized. But that being said, since I was 11-5, I've beaten you 3 weeks in a row now.
I got to pick first this week.
So you have to pick first this week?
Yep.
All right.
Every game.
All right. That sounds good. So loser goes first. Ooh.
Yep.
Well, that's going to be tough for you because you've been picking first randomly. All right. So Saints, Rams, give me your pick'ems.
Like I said, I'm gonna go with the Saints. Give me the Saints. So Chris Olave.
He sent you a photo?
Chris Olave is playing. They did confirm.
Don't tell him who I
don't see
am.
no photo.
He said, show KJ the photo I sent and ask him what side. Don't tell him who I am in the photo.
I don't see
In
that.
chat? You sent a photo in chat?
I don't know how to look at that. Hold on.
I didn't know you could send a photo. In your chat?
Oh, are you talking about in the sleeper?
Probably in your sleeper chat. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you said you're picking the Rams, though?
No, I'm picking the Saints. Saints.
This one's tough for me, right? Because the Saints have to win this game to lead the division because they're tied.
That's why there's so much on the line for them. They have.
But the Rams are in the wild card, and they have to win to stay in the wild card, right? So this is tough in general.
I don't see anything, Aaron.
Rams wild card. Here's what I'm going to tell you is I don't know if the way the Rams defense has been playing, I don't know if Derek Carr is going to be able to take that Saints and score 30 points. Oh my goodness. Is going to be able to score 30 points. Yeah, too much.
Sleeper's not working.
Typical. That's typical. But here's what I'll tell you. I will take the Rams are favored by 4.5. It is in LA. So that's going to be a huge predictor in itself, right? Being in LA. 4.5. That's tough. What's the over under? 46.5. You got a score?
Saints 31-27.
Saints 30. Wow. So you're taking. I just said that I don't see the Saints scoring 30 points. You're just like Saints 31.
I didn't even hear that. I'll be honest. I can't find the photo of them. Oh well. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I don't see it.
So I'll take the Rams, and this will start off our week pretty rough, right? Because one of us will have a win and one of us will have a loss.
Yeah, we both started last week 3-3.
Right.
And
I picked and I picked the 8:00 game different than yours.
Yep.
So this will be interesting. So I'm gonna go the Rams. I think that they are super healthy right now. They're hitting on all cylinders. They win that Ravens game if they don't have a ridiculous overtime situation happen. I'm gonna say Rams 28-24. Damn it, I did it again. I did it 27-24. Don't say 28. I did it again.
What is your obsession?
I don't.
It's the four touchdowns. When I go to Pittsburgh next week, I am going to go put $10 on 28. The first thing I'm going to do when I walk into the casino, I'm putting $10 on 28.
I mean, I don't really have much. We could get into a little bit of DPOY and OPOY or OPOY, but
let's talk comeback player.
I can't think of players to me.
Joe Flacco.
Oh, you got to play more. No, because the argument with comeback player, you have to play more than just.
Damar Hamlin's like the favorite. Damar Hamlin's played in like 2 games this year.
Do you have a betting line for comeback player? Odds, props.
I'm sure I got it.
Injuries, teams. Let's go player. Open a new tab.
Comeback player of the year odds. Here's sports betting.
What is NFL contest? Is this what I'm looking for?
Damar Hamlin is the favorite at -600. Then it goes to Joe Flacco, Matthew Stafford, Tua, Baker, Lamar, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Gardner Minshew.
Okay, so here would be my argument.
I'll take Baker. Baker, yeah.
My argument would be Baker, but Baker didn't come back from anything.
Came back from being shitty.
And that's Geno got it, remember? Because he came back from not playing, and then he got to play, and he won comeback player of the year. Who were the others?
Really bad.
Matt Stafford's not bad because Matt Stafford's actually coming back from injury.
Give me Matt Stafford.
I would take Matt Stafford over any of those guys because he's actually coming back from injury.
So I would do Matt Stafford, Baker, Joe Flacco, then like Damar Hamlin after like 50 other guys.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl? That's like
ambulance.
I swear he's sitting here Googling dad jokes. That's actually a really funny one because the P is silent. Like that's funny. That's funny.
Who do you think deserves comeback player of the year, Aaron?
All right, Aaron's going to just tell you DeMar Hamlin. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
I'm a Bills fan, and I don't think DeMar Hamlin's played in like 2 games. The dude doesn't.
Guys, you hear
deserve
that?
it.
You hear that? Wheel said he's a Bills fan.
I'm not.
You just said it live on air that you're a Bills fan.
If it comes down to
You don't get to pick two
a
AFC teams.
Bills-Browns game, I am a die-hard Browns fan, and you know that.
You don't get to pick two AFC teams. I liked Miami, but I'll never root for them over the Browns, ever.
Aaron Rodgers isn't playing.
Rodgers plays
It's not
hands
going to
down.
happen.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
It's not happening.
No. You don't get comeback player of the year for going down in the same year you won it. Wow, Hamlin's played 1 game.
Hold on, let me check that real quick.
I'll look up DeMar Hamlin's stats on Pro Football Reference, and we'll
Sorry,
see what...
he's played 4. My bad.
And what has he done? Like,
He didn't die.
dude, no fumbles, no
2
sacks,
2 solo
solo tackles.
That is it. That's it. That's all. That's all he wrote. Good day. Good night.
And
See you tomorrow.
I think those might have been like 4th quarter tackles when the guys
It
like
is.
the game
I
was
mean,
over.
He's not wrong. It's a popularity contest.
No. Comeback player of the year is not a popularity contest.
How?
I would argue comeback player of the year has to have some statistical reasoning behind it, which is a reason why Baker Mayfield's on
should
there.
win it.
I agree. It should be Stafford. And don't forget, they want people to bet on DeMar Hamlin because it's betting odds. They want you to bet on DeMar Hamlin because guess who wins? Never the highest in the odds.
If
in
the
that
Browns
situation.
win the division, which it can happen,
The feel good story to me would be Stafford making it to
Joe
the playoffs.
Flacco wins it. If the Browns win the division, Joe Flacco.
So the voting happens at the end of the year. If Joe Flacco can stop turning the ball over,
which is a big issue,
and he wins the next 3 games,
and the Baltimore has to lose to the Niners and lose to either Miami or the Steelers.
that's tough. Because you know what I would say? I would say the MVP.
And I don't see Baltimore losing 2 in a row. I don't.
I would say the MVP would go to Brock Purdy. The
Offensive player of the year goes to
the
CMC.
coach of the year.
Steichen.
Offensive player of the year will definitely go to CMC. The coach of the year will go.
Steichen.
No, I think it'll go to Shanahan. Or not Shanahan, Stefanski.
Yeah, if they win the division.
If they
yeah.
win not the division, if they win the next 3 games. If they win out with Joe Flacco, I think coach of the year will end up going to Stefanski because nobody had the Browns at 12-5.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Bring it up. I'm calling you a
I don't know
liar.
if we have the. I don't know.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
No, I told you. I see the Ravens 12-5, the Browns 12-5, and the Bengals 12-5, and the Steelers 9-7. That's what I had this division at. Now the Bengals cannot go 12-5 now, so I'm wrong there. But that one win that I lost on the Bengals goes to the Ravens. They get 13, but I had the Browns in first. So
I mean,
I would love to see the Ravens lose the next 2 games.
all right, so let's do this. All right, let's just do how it is right now. Who's your coach of the year?
Coach of the year is going to Steichen's hands down because even though D'Amico Ryans won with a backup quarterback, Steichen's been doing it all year, and he's been putting a product on the field. He's lost his running back, and he's lost his quarterback for majority of the season.
I gotta say Stefanski. I know we're expected to do good, but with all these injuries,
But all
that
the
we've had-
injuries arguments don't work for you, right? Because Steichen's been dealing with a backup quarterback since week 4.
we're on our 4th quarterback.
But he's been dealing with a backup quarterback since week 4. So
All
quarterbacks are
understand,
backup quarterbacks, no matter
but-
how many you go through.
But the
That's
Browns,
the Steelers.
the Browns have dealt with however many injuries.
Okay, and
we could possibly when we're 9-5. I mean, if you would have told me
and is
Deshaun Watson,
Jonathan Taylor going to play right now? Because Zach Moss is out.
No, Jonathan Taylor is playing. He was a full
That's
participant.
the
today.
rule. I
Well,
think he will play. I agree with you. But I'm
Jonathan
just saying,
Taylor should play, but please pay close attention to it in case he doesn't for updates.
caveat. We got yelled at last week for being correct.
Denzel Ward played.
Denzel Ward played 59% of the snaps. I got yelled at. I agree with the Tyreek Hill argument, though. I should have caveated if he doesn't play, but the whole purpose with that.
Honestly,
the whole purpose
thought he
was
would've.
the whole purpose of him saying he was going to play was that if he wants the record, he's going to play.
And he didn't.
And he didn't, so he doesn't want the record. And he doesn't want Offensive Player of the Year either, it doesn't sound like either, because he might not play this week.
I think he's looking more long-term. They're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs, and they clinched, so...
Which is smart on him.
Speaking of playoffs, for all you guys out there, I didn't bring this up, but those that have clinched playoffs right now, there's 3 NFC teams that have clinched playoffs, and they all have 10 wins or more. Niners, they clinched playoffs. Haven't clinched first place yet, but they clinched playoffs. Cowboys... clinch playoffs. Eagles clinch playoffs. Those 3 teams in the NFC clinch playoffs. The Ravens clinch playoffs in the AFC, and if they win this next game, they might clinch first, depending on what happens.
If they win and we lose, yes, they clinch.
Correct. They might clinch first in the AFC.
Yeah. That's
because
if they win, we lose.
They need the Chiefs to lose too.
No, the Dolphins to lose.
Oh yeah, the Dolphins and the Chiefs.
Yeah. So
because the Chiefs are 9-5.
What's the record in the AFC West? Right
10-4. The Dolphins are 10-4. Chiefs
no,
are
AFC West.
Chiefs are 9-5.
And what are the Broncos?
7-7.
Oh God. So there goes the Chiefs as a wild card.
No, the Broncos can win 3 games.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Duh.
Yeah, the Broncos can win 3 games, and the Chiefs can lose 2.
I hope it happens.
And they tie, and then
I want to see a Dolphins-Chiefs wild card game. Oh.
Well, right now, here's the funny part. I put this up. I don't know if I have the button to do this.
It's going to be a Browns
So if you
Lions Super Bowl. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know where everything's at. I'll do it by hand.
Aaron, you should come to Cleveland next Thursday.
Right now, I have this set up for us. So right now, that is how it's set up.
Okay.
So you got the Colts are going into Miami, playing Miami right as of right now. Cincinnati, a rematch game against the Kansas City Chiefs in playoffs again.
And the Jags and Browns.
The Browns rematch again, which I don't know if I like that rematch.
Oh, I do.
In the playoffs.
The Jags are not good at home. They're not healthy.
Just as long as that game's not in London, I am okay. I am okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Their second home, their first home is in London. I think Trevor Lawrence is undefeated in London.
And then if you move over to the NFC right now, the Rams are going into Dallas, which that'll be a tough game for the Rams. The Minnesota Vikings are going into Detroit. That'll be another tough game, which is funny because then they would play. Did you know if this stays the way it is, by the way, in Minnesota and Detroit playing the playoffs, it'll be Minnesota playing Detroit this week. They have off the next week. Minnesota, Detroit playing the last week of the year, and then Minnesota and Detroit playing round 1 of playoffs. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? They could play each other 3 times within a month.
Wait, who?
Minnesota and Detroit.
We saw it with the Steelers, didn't we?
We played
twice.
We played twice. We at the end of the year, and then but this is 3 times within a month. What do you call a well-balanced horse? Stable. I thought you were. You put it over here like you're showing me something. It's weird.
I can't find it.
And then the Eagles at this point will go into Tampa Bay, which I love the fact that the 10-4 Eagles have to go travel to Tampa Bay, who's 7-7.
Let's do this real quick, okay? Let's start on the NFC side. Rams at Cowboys. Who do you got?
Rams at this point?
Yes.
I'll take the Cowboys at home.
Okay, so we got Cowboys moving forward against the Niners. Vikings at Detroit. Who do you got? I agree with the Cowboys. I have Detroit.
Vikings in Detroit.
Yeah, because they're division winners.
I don't know. Kirk back?
No, Kirk's not going to be back. Nick Mullins. Kirk's not his.
I got to take Detroit.
It's an Achilles.
I got to take Detroit.
I got to take Detroit too. So we got, and then you have Eagles at Tampa. I'm take Tampa. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take Tampa. With that defense.
I agree. I'll take Tampa also.
So now you want to do AFC or finish the NFC?
Oh, you finish the NFC.
Okay. Niners Niners against the Cowboys. So the Cowboys going to San Fran. Sorry. Good Lord.
Oh, that's not how that would work.
Oh no, you're right.
They would play the lower. They would play the lowest seed.
So it would be Detroit. No,
they would play
Tampa. They play Tampa.
So I would have Tampa beating Philly.
Yeah, so it would be Tampa at the Niners. Because
So yes. Tampa
okay,
would
so
be
he
at
got
the Niners.
Tampa and I have the Niners.
Oh, I can't edit a scene while we're. Oh,
I completely forgot about
that's live for you
I don't know.
guys. I'm working live.
diligently at fixing this for us.
Well, I wanted to put us out there so this way we're not looking like idiots. I mean, but I already look like an idiot continuously. So I would say, okay, so I would say Philly going into Tampa is going to be a tough game for Philly. If they continue to play, they will. I say Tampa could win that game.
Yes,
So I would like to put Tampa
Yeah,
up there.
so we go Tampa at San Francisco.
So and then yes, correct. Yeah. So Tampa playing San Francisco in San Francisco. I'll take San Francisco all day.
Okay, me too. And then you go to
And then you would have Dallas
Dallas.
playing Minnesota and
Dallas playing Detroit.
Detroit in Dallas.
They have the same record, don't they?
Yeah, but Dallas the higher seed.
Yes, you're correct. Thank you.
So you would be playing in
Everyone's-
Dallas.
yeah.
Now my argument for this one would be is that Detroit is a shell of itself. It'd be Dallas. Now, which is crazy because we know Dallas is not good in the playoffs.
I'll differ. I'll take Detroit.
Okay, and then but it doesn't matter here because I take San Francisco all the way.
So do I. So
So-
let's go to the AFC. So we have San
But
Francisco.
I
in the Super
would
Bowl.
argue that Dallas against San Francisco would be a phenomenal matchup for the NFC title game.
Yeah.
That
but
matchup would be awesome.
the Dallas has not won a divisional game since they won a Super Bowl.
That's the problem, right? So like even them
And that
beating
was
the,
in what, 98?
and I would argue they might not beat the Rams because
They
the
might
Rams wide receiver core is too good and Stafford's not stupid. So you're not throwing turnovers the way that the
Deron
Rams
Bland has I don't want to say he's disappeared, but he's taken a step back.
double moves. He's Trevon Diggs Jr. I mean, same concept. He's jumping on the first cut.
So let's go. Let's start Colts at Dolphins.
So Colts at Miami. I actually like Steichen in this. I would take the Colts.
Really?
I would take the Colts. I'll take because I'll take
okay.
Minshew gunning it all day. A healthy Pittman. I'll take a healthy
Even
Jonathan
it-
Taylor.
And these defenses are very similar. A lot of both these teams have a lot of takeaways, a lot of sacks.
This is one of those ones where I would love Minshew to just finally get his recognition.
And he should.
So,
So I'll differ. I gotta differ here. I want to take the Dolphins. I think it's a field goal game. It's gonna be close. It's in Miami.
it'll be tit for tat for sure.
So I mean,
But who's got the better running backs? A hard question, right? Because Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss duo could be tough.
that's a good point.
Achane and
Wide
Mostert
receiver too.
could be tough.
Wide receiver. I mean, obviously.
Pittman, Downs, Alec Pierce. Obviously, I'm going to
Yeah,
take.
but after you.
Obviously, I'm gonna take
and
Tyreek Hill,
Waddle,
right?
But after
But-
that, it's a.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Tight end wise, I would take the Colts tight ends over Miami's. Well, that's the third tight end. Can you stop it?
All right, let's go to the. So, you have the Colts. I have the
I'm
Dolphins.
obviously going to take the Bengals in Kansas City.
Even with Jake Browning,
They
I love it. I love it.
They own Arrowhead.
It's Burrowhead Stadium.
Yep, they own it.
Even
man.
though Burrow's not playing, Browning is, so it's Browninghead Stadium.
Just put a big deer over it. It's a gun company, right? I was gonna say.
Browning, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Cincinnati Bengals as well. Browns at Jags. Give me
It's
the
a
Browns.
tough one because,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I want to say
Jags
the
are
Browns just
awful
based
at
on the way they
home.
played, but Jacksonville looked really good in Cleveland. If it wasn't for the
Did
fact,
you see how they looked at home against the Ravens?
yeah, but we were dealing with an injured Trevor Lawrence.
He's still injured. He might not play this week.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a tough matchup this week.
It's a high ankle sprain. He is nursing it. That is it's similar to what
Lamar
Patrick
had at the end of his
or not,
season.
not Patrick.
Lamar
Lamar
had-
had at the end of the season 2 years ago, I think it was. So now
last year.
Now we get tricky because I had the Dolphins, you had the Colts. Let's just go with the Colts. That's fine. So the Colts play
I'll go Dolphins Browns. That's fine.
Dolphins Browns. That game would be insane.
I think we match up well with the Browns. So what
Are the Dolphins?
did one wall say to the other? I'll meet you at the corner, horde.
Corn her. So now you got the Browns at
That one was bad, bro.
at Miami. Yeah, I do think we match up well. That top flight offense
And you have healthy
passing.
You have healthy corners coming.
You
back.
have a healthy corner. Juan Thornhill should be back.
Delpit will be back too.
Delpit, so from what I'm hearing, Delpit is going to be out for the regular season, but he should be
Correct.
back for
He's on the IR. That's why they put him on the IR.
Yes.
They didn't take him off the roster.
So call us homers. You can do that if you want.
Oh, no. I'll take the Browns over Miami all day.
I think that defense is going to be too much for Tua. I have Tua going like 2 turnovers and a fumble. The strip sack from Myles Garrett.
I will take Cleveland over Miami, but I just don't know if I could take Cleveland over Jacksonville. That's my thing.
That game's harder than the Dolphins game, I think, in my opinion.
Yes. And I would say that Jacksonville would lose to Miami. They don't match up well. So Miami would destroy Jacksonville. So it's hard because I think Miami's best path, right, is they want Jacksonville to win that game. They do not want the Browns to win that game.
And then so we go what? Colts.
It'd be
Cincinnati
I lied. If the Browns beat, we don't play Miami. We play the Ravens.
Play Miami.
We play the Ravens.
Oh,
we would play the Ravens.
Yeah, so we'll switch that. Browns.
Miami would play
the Cincinnati, and
that's another that throwing the ball downfield all day.
That's a back and forth game all day. That's how I think this week's going to go.
It'd be the defensive matchup of the Browns and the Ravens against the offensive matchup of the Bengals and the Miami Dolphins.
And Cincinnati is starting to find themselves on the defense as well as mixing in Joe Mixon like we said to do since like week 6. So
I'd take Miami. I'll take Miami over the Bengals just because I think they're more productive at offense.
Yeah. I'll take Miami over the Bengals. I like the because Jamar Chase, he's out for 2 weeks. Who knows if he comes back? I mean,
he might not be back all year, but it's a shoulder. It's an AC sprain in his shoulder.
AC sprain, and that is not easy for a wide receiver to come back from, especially.
You're going to take another hit, so like
you could be. I mean,
you need to make sure it's 100.
Look at Watson. Watson, he took one hit and he was done.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, it's a good point. You don't want to break your shoulder. That's a great point.
And be out even longer next year, and then you're on the.
That's seriously a great point. I don't know if they need Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Trent Irwin, Charlie Jones played very well again.
Andre Iosivas,
all these wide receivers.
Oh my God, Trent Irwin had I was hoping he would catch that pass, man, right through the fingertips. It was so close.
That should have caught it.
You have called that dude all year, and he has shown up. That would have been a huge spot for him.
He's gonna. I mean, I think he's a UFA next year. So like, he's gonna get signed somewhere for.
You know where he's gonna go? He's going to the Patriots. He's white.
Well, No, they got 3 black receivers.
Or the Jets. The Jets like their.
They got Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, and
He's a slot guy.
Who's their other receiver?
Kendrick Bourne, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju. I forgot Juju.
Juju doesn't exist anymore. He's just a.
He actually has looked pretty good with Bailey Zapp. But okay, so I would say that Miami, like I said, I think Miami beats
over
the Bengals, and then I think the best defense wins in the Ravens and Cleveland game.
That game scares me.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want to play the Ravens again. I really don't.
I
don't think we can beat the Ravens 2 times. I hope we win again and we play the second seed.
Regardless, we're playing either the Dolphins or the Dolphins or the Ravens. Because
is this right?
Yeah, we're either playing the Dolphins or the Ravens.
Yeah, the 4 plays the 5 seed.
Yeah. So
I'd prefer the Dolphins.
Second round, we're either playing the Dolphins or the Ravens.
Oh, no. Actually, I lied. If the Colts or the Bengals win, they play the Ravens.
Oh, duh. I knew I had it right.
You are right. They play the lower seed. You're right. I don't want to play the Ravens again.
No, I don't.
And we have to play them. By the way, I've been calling this for like 4 weeks now. The story of the year is Joe Flacco beating the Ravens.
It's gonna be in the division
in Baltimore, and
it would be in the.
It's the story of the year. That's the storytelling you're looking for, Aaron.
It'd be the conference championship game.
Yep.
Right.
The AFC conference. Yeah, it would be the story of the year. So, and then I would have the best defense. By the way, you'd have the 3 best defensive teams in the NFL: the 49ers, the Baltimore Ravens, and 4 because Dallas. 49ers, Dallas. Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland.
Could you imagine? Oh my God! And defenses win you Super Bowl babies.
They do, and that would be one of the toughest. And actually, you know what would come on top? The most perfect quarterback, not the best quarterback, The most perfect quarterback. The one that's not throwing interceptions. The one that's not taking risks. The ones that play minimally and don't take the risk.
Call me crazy. Let's go.
It'd be Brock Purdy.
Let's go conference. Let's go conference championship. Let's say we make it that far against the Baltimore Ravens. Give me Joe Flacco with that experience. I know he's older.
Give me Joe.
Give me Joe Flacco,
I didn't even put that
Give
together.
me Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco in the playoffs is perfect, baby. The dude, I think he's lost one game his entire career in the playoffs.
And Lamar Jackson, I believe, has a losing record in the playoffs.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a win.
I think he's 0-2.
Oh, he does have a win.
No, he's 1-2. He's 1-2.
1-2 with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. His stat line's horrible in the playoffs.
So
It's horrendous. But I would argue Todd Monken's going to change that. He's got weapons this year.
I know.
So I would argue that would change. But I think that's kind of.
I'm sorry, he's 1-3.
Who is?
Lamar.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He's 1-3 with 900 yards.
Well, yeah, because you had to lose
5 interceptions and 3 touchdowns.
That makes sense because you had
sacked 19 times.
He's been there. He's been in the playoffs 3 times. So you would have to lose 3 times if you don't win the Super Bowl. So that makes sense. 1-3 makes sense.
He lost against the Chargers, the
Tennessee Titans.
beat Tennessee, and lost against Buffalo. So it goes back to quarterback for me for just Lamar Jackson.
I'm not going to harass him this year.
No, I'm not. I'm saying defenses, how they play against good defenses. And Miami, in my opinion,
Miami's suspect.
I don't know if they make it out of the first round.
Yeah,
That's why I said I like the Colts.
I think Miami.
I like Miami. You like the Colts.
I like the Colts.
And
because
the Colts are a good set. Like I said, they both.
The Colts are not a bad defense.
No.
And they have a good pass rush. And the pass rush has played better.
Rookie
in
head
the recent.
coach.
But the pass rush has played better in the recent weeks.
You know,
like
Zaire Franklin is his name, right?
I don't remember.
He's healthy again.
Their defense has played a lot better recently.
A lot more takeaways.
A lot more. So Gardner's been able to be a little more risky, but they're still averaging 30 points a week. It's ridiculous.
I'd rather play Miami than the Colts.
Like, I'm going to go offense. Let me see.
Hold on. We would be at home against the Colts.
We would be at home against the Colts.
Anybody other than Miami, we would be at home. No, divisional it would go to. So
no, we'd be at home.
No, there's no other team that's below us.
No, we'd be at home against the Bengals. We'd be at home against the Colts.
Everybody but.
But we wouldn't play
Miami.
the Bengals. We wouldn't play the Bengals.
Everybody but Miami would be at home against.
Chiefs, no. I don't know how that works. Does it go to the division winner?
Yeah, the tiebreaker is the division. You're right. I'm sorry. It is the division winner, regardless of record.
So yeah,
that's why the Eagles are playing Tampa,
and we wouldn't play the Colts because the Ravens would play the Colts.
So we would play the Chiefs.
We'd play the higher seed.
Give me that.
Give me the Chiefs.
Give me
rematch.
I'll
take the Chiefs rematch.
Funny how the NFL wants to change. I don't know if some people saw this. Obviously, I'm not going to sit there and harp on it, but it is a memory for us as Browns fans in the playoffs against the Chiefs. The fumble when Rashard Higgins was speared, he fumbled.
The helmet-to-helmet contact. Let's phrase it correctly.
He was
the helmet-to-helmet tackle because he didn't even lead with his hands. He led with his helmet, and he hit Rashard Higgins
in the side of the head
in the helmet with his helmet,
and he fumbled into the end zone.
And he fumbled going. Actually, I don't know if the ball went into the end zone. I think the ball went out of the end, like out of bounds. I don't remember.
No, it rolled into the end zone then out.
Okay. So yeah, he fumbled before going into the end zone. The ball went out of the end zone, and that was it for the play.
Because if he caught it and he would have fumbled out, it would have just been spot on.
If they make a fumble into the end zone a safety.
It wasn't. It was a no. They want to.
No, that's the rule. They want to make it.
No, they want to. They want to get rid of it as if it's just a fumble. A regular fumble, like you fumbled out of bounds.
No, wait. Okay. Okay. Every situation is different. So if I'm going in to score a touchdown, and I fumble the ball, and the ball is in the end zone and it goes out of bounds, that is not a safety.
No.
That is a touchback.
Yes. There wasn't a safety in that game. It was
correct.
A touchback.
It would be a touchback.
So I believe they're trying to implement that it would just be a spot fumble like it would be on the.
So where you fumbled the ball is where it would be dead at.
From what I have got read.
I'll have to read
into.
more into this because that doesn't sound right. When I saw the
No,
rule
because
change adjustment, they said it's supposed to be a safety, and I was like, that makes no sense because technically, if I'm scoring the ball and the defense never touches the ball,
They don't pick it up.
They don't pick it up. It can't be a safety
No, it's
because it's never changed possession.
No.
So that one's confusing to me. I got to read into that rule. It's not changing this year, thank God.
playoff scenarios are definitely. We can talk about them. It's week 16. I think maybe we'll get a little bit more into defensive player, offensive player this Friday.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that this weekend.
What time do you want to do the show Friday?
8 p.m. Yep,
do it.
8 p.m. Be here, be square. And Aaron, please, if you are in chat, come see us on Friday, and we will be here Friday at 8 p.m. And then we are doing a Saturday show. We haven't decided whether or not it's going to be early or later.
We'll do
You
10.
guys let us know whether or not you want it early in the morning or late at night at 8 also.
Yeah.
If you wanted it late, we'll cover the Saturday games on Friday.
If you want it early.
Oh, that's good. You don't have to be in chat if you're traveling. You can just listen. That's nice.
Yeah. If you're traveling early, we could do an early show.
Yeah, let us know. All right, that is it for me today. I got nothing else. Go Rams.
Go Saints.
All right, we're going to battle this one out. We will see you guys Friday, right?
Yep.
All right.
Later.
Peace out.